Hello and welcome to this documentary that will inform you whether children are getting infected by violent media images. There has been a mass majority of violent incidents that have been blamed on media violence. Children can be affected by what they see on TV, films and computer games. It is a worrying issue, especially if we look at some strong cases, such as the Jamie Bulger story. The two boys forged a friendship out of breaking the rules. They played truant, they pinched sweeties and they terrorised old ladies. Then, one Friday in February, they discovered a new rule to break: murder. On the 12th of February 1993 at 3:39 p.m, a surveillance camera in the Borsal Strand shopping centre on Merseyside recorded two 10-year-old boys, Robert Thompson and John Venables. They were filmed taking a 2-year-old boy, Jamie Bulger, by the hand outside a butcher's shop. They took James to a railway line 2.5 miles away. This is where they killed and left his body. The trial judge, Justice Mulholland, sentenced the boys to a life sentence, recommending that they should serve a minimum of 8 years. This was then increased to 10 years by the Lord Chief Justice, Lord Taylor, and then to 15 years by the Home Secretary, Michael Howard. The film Child's Play 3 was blamed by the two boys for influencing them. There was no proof they saw this film. And anyway, the film had a 18 certificate. What were they doing watching it? It's cases like that that make us think hard about whether or not a young child is fit to watch something on TV and video that may have quite a strong content. This documentary is going to look at what could happen if a child is exposed to violent images in the media. And we will hear what children have to say about this subject, and myself from a filmmaker's point of view. Hi, I'm Tom Salmon. I'm 18 years old and I direct violent films. I direct violent films because they sell. I mean, a lot of people go watch them at the cinema. They're not particularly intellectually stimulating films, but nonetheless, they do. I think they kind of evolve sort of like the science of filmmaking. I mean, they kind of push the boundaries, like different editing styles and camera angles and things. I haven't really made any high-budget violent films. I've just made some kind of amateurish stuff, just sort of testing the boundaries of what I could get away with on the budget I had. That's basically why I make them. Yeah. I think from about 6, I watched my first violent film, which was The Running Man, and I couldn't watch the whole of The Running Man. It was just too much. Well, I've never liked screen violence. There's certain types of screen violence I don't like torture. I've never been able. I can't watch a film which has got torture in it. Or sexual violence as well, like rape. I don't derive any entertainment from watching that kind of violence. But whereas like films like Commando, when it's sort of like totally abstract, and it's like comic book. I mean, it can be fun. Or there's sort of two sides to sort of violent films, like the nasty side and the more realistic side. Whereas there's sort of like films like Blade, which just sit down and watch them for a good laugh.
I'm Matthew Verity and I'm 17 and I'm studying BTEC Media, and my favourite horror genre is horror, and so far at college I've been on many productions that have involved horror, including House on the Hill. I like making violent horror films because of the suspense and the music and all the tension and all the way they make it all silent, and then suddenly the killer just comes out and strikes. I just like all the build up to that. I've watched many films when I was younger. When I was 7 I watched Halloween around my friend's house, and that was just on because he was just watching it. And the reason why I do watch them is because obviously it's my favourite genre, and I don't know, it's my favourite genre really. Can't really think of another reason. Right, I don't think I've been affected by violence in the horror films because, well, I haven't really done any violent acts. I haven't really had a fight or anything, and I haven't really copied anything when I had a fight. So I think it's just the way I've been brought up, the way I've been taught about violence from my parents. That's basically it.
I'm 14 years old, Adam Pledger. I like watching films that are older than, the certificate's older than my age, because of violence, blood, gore, guts, usual stuff basically.
I like video nasties because they're a great form of entertainment. There's lots of guts, blood, is everything you need to entertain you, friends, everyone. It's excellent and it's just what I like. The first video nasty I probably ever saw was the first Halloween when I was between about 6 and 8. It was round a friend's house, just having a sleepover, watching some films. I do feel that films do affect you, but not in any serious ways. Like, if you watch a fighting or a killing film, it makes you feel like fighting or mucking about, but nothing too serious, like going around killing people or anything.
Hello, I'm Daniel. I'm 14 years old and sometimes I watch violent films. I watch violent films with my mates. I was 12 years old when I watched my first violent film and I watched it around my mate's house. Violent films haven't affected me in any way.
As you can tell from what you have seen, this is a subject not to be taken lightly. You can never be too strict about telling a child about a film which they cannot watch because of their age. Media violence is a big issue, especially when you hear about tragic images related to it. What is your opinion?